All right, we're going to look at number 67 now, doing split date. So in this one, we are, working on using a little bit of split methods in here to take apart some strings. So let's take a look at this one. We're going to do the bicycle data, and we need to clean it as an earlier. Let me take a look at that. Assume that's 64, so we should probably reference what we did for 64 for this one. Let's take a look and see what we have for the bicycle data. Oh, I remember the bicycle data that was the one that was all like with the semicolon stuff on it. So let's see. I think the first thing we need to do, we just need to do this. So we're going to say data frame is equal to pd.readcsv. We're going to pass in. I realize I showed this in the document. It's actually pretty good. We can pass this in as quick quotations there. And then we need to remember that there's all these semicolons. Oh, I think what it means by cleaning up, I assume, is kind of getting rid of all of those. I really gotta get rid of that thing. Getting rid of all of the kind of missing data in here, because I know we had some from previous in this. Let's check out cyclists. Got this one open from probably my last video. Looks like it's not totally done there. We need to drop NA by. Gonna have to drop some of this data. So let's take a look here. So what we're gonna have to do for that is I think I'm just gonna. You probably won't even need this because I'll have already included this in your code. But what we're going to do is we just need to drop any of the ones where all of the values are missing. So we can say df dot, what do we do? We need to drop NA. We want to do, our how is going to be, we want to do the ones where they're all. And then we're going to say, axis should be 1 because we want to look at the columns. And we want to say in place is true, because that means we don't have to this just means we're actually going to modify the thing itself, not return a copy that has been modified, which is just slightly different. Let's see what else we need to do. We need to do the same thing then for df.drop NA. For how, it has to be all, and we need to do, God, I'm so frustrated with that thing. All right, so this is going to get rid of any of those extra rows and columns that don't have any data, right? Of course, we're checking to see if they're all. A little bit of side note, because you're not really going to need to see this. I'm just going to put this into your code for you automatically. Or maybe it won't. I think that's good practice. Let me just update the instructions to include that, which you will never see. You'll just, anyways, whatever. All right, so we're back at it. We got that. Let's see. Okay, so we are trying to, we got that. So we have Paivamara column, of course, contains some data that we want to split up. So I think we can look through that. That's going to be this data, this column, and it's going to be all of this data in here. You can see this is a single entry for that thing. I assume it's about date, time. I don't know what all this stuff means. I think it's going to explain it a little bit later in the document, but we do want to separate this thing into 5 columns. Okay, so that's pretty easy. We need to reference just our code up here if we want to split. We need to, so we're applying this to a single series. Well, we know that a column is also a single series. So I'm kind of looking for, we want to make it into its own data frame. All right, so let's just try this. We're going to say split data is going to be equal to df dot, and now what was the code for this? We need to do dot, treat it like a string, and we're going to split. And then it looks like we do that's just going to be by spaces. I assume that's the same thing here. We just need to do it by spaces. So that looks pretty good. Oh, I do know that we want to make sure that it's not putting it within one column. We want them to all be their own column. So we'll say expand is equal to true. And then let's just try and print split date and see what we get. Oh, not split. Yeah, split data. Great. I'll put a little thing on there. Let's run it through, see if we got any issues with it. Oh, because, okay, so data frame has no attribute, blah. That's because I'm applying this to the entire data frame. Really what I want to do is, I don't want to do it to the entire data frame. I just want to do it to this one particular row. What's the name of that row again? This thing. So I'm just going to say in here, df. Let's extract that single, I think I might have said row earlier. I do mean column, right? We're going to extract that single column, and then we can apply this to create our split data. So let's try that again here. This should be, I believe this should be working. We can see split data. Okay, we have all of these columns. It's looking pretty good, about 37,000 rows with all this data in it. Okay. there we go. And so we have, yeah, 37,000 pieces of data. All right, looking good so far. Oh, and then we need to have the column names here. So let's see. Let's check. Check and see what. Just a reminder of how we set the columns like that. We can set the columns. There's like different. Oh, so many different things to use. We can set the columns are equal to. What information do we need in here? We need to have these things. So we're going to go into here. We'll put that in there. Delete that. We'll put some quotations around each one of these. And I think that should be good. Let's try and run this again, see if it likes that approach. Yeah, good. Okay, so then, yeah, good. I was just making sure we didn't need to have a name up here. Okay, and then we need to go through. All right, so we have a lot of this stuff done so far. We have this done. Now we need to do some conversions. We want to drop the colon and the minutes. So we're getting, okay. So when we do this one, I'm going to do a little experimentation. I can probably look it up and see like directly how to do this, but I'm thinking for this one, we just want these values. I think we can do it like this. Let's say split data. We want to get hour. I think that we can apply a substring to this. I wonder if there's a better way of doing this. So let's try this. I think this should work. We can go into our string, and then we are going to, let's see. Oh, we only want like a certain section of this. We want kind of like a substring. Oh, could I do string and then just do from like 0 to 0, 1 to 2? Would that work? Very curious. Hey, look at that. I wonder if that would work. Cool. All right. So we get the hours. We need to drop the colons, and then we're going to convert the weekdays using the following rules. Okay, so this needs to be a dictionary. So that means we need to make our day mapper is going to be equal to a dictionary. It has to have. Well, let me just put this. Yeah, so it's got to look something like. And that's going to point towards Monday. And just wondering how I can do this a little bit quicker. Welcome to Tap Ahead. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Is that enough? Pause. I'll just do this real quick. All right, so I made my little dictionary there. I'll have to probably repeat that process for the month. But so I need to go into here. I need to say split data, replace, and then I need to pass in my day mapper. And I need to, let me look back to my document. See, do I need to, I don't remember, do I need to say in place or does it just automatically do it? It doesn't say that I can do it. It says I just want to set split data equal to that, but I bet I could probably, yeah, in place is equal to true. Okay, so that's going to update that. Let's try and run this, and hopefully we should see all those dates are now getting updated there. A lot of Wednesday data. Let's just make sure, yeah, these are all kind of in a row too. Okay. Weekday, that looks good. All right, now what else do we have to do next? There's another one in here we need to do. We gotta apply this. Oof. This is gonna be easier to, that's frustrating. Let's say month mapper is equal to, just wonder if I can't put this in here. I think I can do a better job with this. Like I'm thinking I can do that. Maybe I can just put some quotations around this. All right, I'm gonna go through that and try and make this. I'll be right back. All right, got that all set up there. It was slightly less tedious, but still pretty tedious. Split data, we're gonna replace, we are gonna say month mapper. We're gonna do in place is true. Let's see, how are we getting? Gotta be getting pretty close here. Okay, let's see. All right, so it does say things in here, like we want to make sure if things are meant to be make sure they return a certain data type. Okay, Let's test it out. That's my only question at this point right here is, do we want to, we're going to make sure that all the different types are correct. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, so I have all this. It's mostly looking good. I mean, if we try and run this, I think we're going to see all this data looking pretty good here. I think what we want to do, I think I can do, let's see, print, split. I think I can do data. I think I can do data. I think that's a thing. Is it data types? Or is it like this? Am I losing my mind? I think that's a thing. All right, let me check. Ah, here it is, yeah. I'm not losing my mind in this case. We can see D types, so I want to check the D types and make sure they're all correct. That was pretty close. D types. They just got to be simple and fancy here. So what we're looking for is if they are integers, then they should be stored as integers. If they are strings, then it's fine to store them as objects. So we're going to look through here and figure out, like, okay, weekday should be that. Day, it looks like to be this column. These should be integers. Okay. This should be integers. Month is an integer. Year, like all these should be integers. Everything except for weekday should be integers. So we have to go back and make sure that we're using these things correctly. So let's see. We want to look back up into here. We want to convert the column from one type to another. Let's see. Yeah, I don't want to do. Anyway, this is what I want because I want to change individual columns. So let's go through. We're going to take this line of code out of here, and we'll go into here and we'll say, all right. So I want to say, but I want to do split data is equal to this, and we'll say as typed this, and then we need to talk about the different rows that we want. I think I want some all as floats, if I'm not mistaken, in here. Split data. Okay, so it doesn't want some as integers. Anyways, we can go through and just find like these different names. We want to say like day should be one, month should be another, year should be another, and then hour should be another. And so we want to do these all. I think these should just all be ints. Int. All right, that seems like it should be correct. Let's return this. Wait, why are we getting this? Wait. Oh, because we're doing data types up here. Yeah, that's not gonna show any change. Good, so we should have everything. I think that should be correct. Let's try and return split data and see what we get. Split data, we'll return that back to the main. Oh, what do you think? Tests are gonna work? I don't know. I think they should, but when did they ever work the first try? Huh? Oh my gosh, who would have thought? There we go, perfect.